I was just saying I didn't know this is what they look like. It's one of those I've just never thought about.
Right, because you only see it when it comes out on the
They're
plate.
delicious.
Right.
They're delicious.
Yeah.
It reminds me of when I first saw pineapples growing in a field.
Ooh.
And I was like, what? I thought they grew in a tree.
Yeah, I think a lot of people assume that. It's strange.
I drove by. What is that? Can that be real? Look, man, we got a couple quiet days. We've been talking a lot last week about a storm for the end of the week, and we may have gotten a 2-for-1 special. So
okay, just spread out a little bit.
A BOGO. So yeah, well, not a spread out would like. I'll show you in a second. So right now it's quiet. We've got some sun out there, especially over western Maine, and a few clouds into the mid-coast and down East Maine as well. As I mentioned before, there's actually a storm just sailing to our south, relatively close actually, but it is down here off the Cape Cod and the islands. It is just sailing off to our south and east, so it's not going to impact us. Just a little interesting side note, the models did a good job with that because it was pretty close and we didn't really worry about it. So it's 34 right now in Portland, 27 in Augusta, 21 in Rangeley. Ski area's happy-ish, for this season because it was cold enough to blow snow, plus they got a little natural snow too. And today's another day where you can actively make snow if you're so inclined to spend the money on it, I guess. Hour by hour forecast showing you temperatures in the mid and upper 30s later this afternoon. Tonight we drop down into the 20s. It's partly cloudy, not a whole lot going on, teens in the mountains. So tomorrow's another bright day. It's actually probably brighter than today on the balance. We end up around freezing. Might be a little bit warmer than modeled here, I think. Rangeley, for example, probably should be able to get over 20 degrees. But it is quite chilly tomorrow night, dropping down into the single digits and some teens out there. Another quiet day on Wednesday, just chilly start, and then we get back to around freezing by Wednesday afternoon. And then here comes some moisture on Thursday. So the signal was there for a storm late next week, and it still is, but the model's kind of keyed in on a different, they're called short waves, different piece of energy. So watch what happens here on Thursday. We get this warm front to ride in. So we start as a little light mixture of snow and sleet. And then the warm front gets to our north Thursday night. And that should change a lot of us over to rain. You can see northern Maine and the mountains are fighting a little bit here Thursday night into Friday morning. By Friday during the day, it seems like everybody will change over to showers at least. But where it gets interesting, all the models agree on that part of the storm. Okay, but where it gets interesting is some models have a secondary low, which was the original one I was watching last week, sneak up here over the weekend and try to turn into another rain and snow mixture. And that's the second part, that I'm not as sure about, because the European model is my favorite, and this is the one I'm showing you, but it's still kind of funky to have a low and then one swing right back behind it and retrograde in for a rain and snowstorm. So we'll have to watch the weekend. I hate to just put it that way, but I don't see a clear solution for that right now. I usually like the Euro, but that just seems weird to me. We do spike temperatures on Friday. I think almost everyone changes over to rain at that point. Whether or not this is a net gain or net loss for us as far as snow comes down to that second low, because if the second one hits on Saturday into Saturday night, we could have some snow in there. I'm just not entirely sure that's how it's going to go down. So quiet couple of days, and then we'll deal with that. We definitely know Thursday and Friday how that's going to go down. The weekend, hopefully we have more clarity on that either later today or at the worst tomorrow morning on which model is making sense here.
Okay.
Just one of those.
Yeah,
It's weird. It's just one of those where it's like, okay, how long have I been doing this? I don't remember seeing a low and then one swing right behind it like that, so it makes me a little sketchy about it, but we should be able to nail it down soon.
It's also strange to just keep seeing these storms that are snow and rain.
Oh yeah, either way, it's going to be two more mixes.
Yeah. All right, Keith, thank you.